Video on. Hey, good evening, everybody. I think we're live here on Facebook. Well, we're getting recorded as well. So I'm here live at the Aurora Public Library. Just finished up with Lauren Underwood's town hall, Congresswoman Lauren Underwood's town hall here in Aurora over at the School District Administration Boardroom. A number of folks were there. We'll address both Lauren's content and some of the question content. This is a very quick, off the cuff, pretty much no notes. I got a couple notes that someone else handed me to jog my memory on a few things, but off the cuff, quick rebuttal of some things I heard and saw in Lauren Underwood's town hall. We will, again, we're gonna get to posting all the video from the last two town halls. We haven't done so yet with the first one. We're trying to figure out if we can do some things to make a few things better. But that said, we'll see what we can do to get her unedited town halls out to you, because I can tell you the fake news is not going to do that for you. So if you want to see what actually goes on at one of the things, I would actually encourage you to come out and attend the Lauren Underwood town hall for your own self. But if you can't do that, we're going to try to make that available to you. In the meantime, quick rebuttal. So starting with Lauren Underwood and what she really said during her part of the presentation before the Q&A came. And this is a big deal, because what I heard in two town halls was a lot of hate directed at Republicans, Speaker Mike Johnson, and the President of the United States. And so to me, that's concerning, because, and Miss Underwood said at her last town hall that, you know, we had to up the security because of all this, and I'm for all that stuff, not, you know, we shouldn't have to do this and all that. But on the flip side, here she is with some of the most hateful, insightful rhetoric and specific statements that have no basis in fact about individuals and things happening. And those things we'll get to in a more detailed rebuttal as we get the videos produced and get those out. But I did want to address that overall theme of basically targeting Republicans and targeting the president and specifically targeting Speaker Mike Johnson with very insightful rhetoric. We have to stop the hate, folks. It should stop with your representative in Congress. I don't do that as a candidate. I'm not going to do it as a representative in Congress. But I will call out things that need to be called out, but it's going to be policy, it's going to be issue, it's going to be those kind of things, okay? That I think we really had to clear the air on what she's presented in the two town halls we attended. Now, there have been other town halls, and I can tell you that the format, because I attended one last year as well, the format's going to be pretty much the same. While everyone's gathering, they're showing some videos that are pretty, I would say, interesting in the respect that they're totally not truthful. There's no balance at all to them. Going on and on about ICE. They had videos where she's grilling someone in Congress, and they don't show you the rest of the questions asked of the same person in that. They just show you Lauren Underwood being very disrespectful to a person in office in one of the departments, and her, you know, repeating her same stuff over and over again without really saying anything, right? So we see a lot of that in what she's doing in these town halls. Then she opens up for questions, and I'll be frank with you that I was actually both town halls pleasantly surprised that she addressed a lot of questions, okay? That doesn't mean I was happy with her answers or thought she did great answers, but I was pleasantly surprised that the format, very consistent with the format for my town halls. So folks, you want to see in person, come on out to our town halls, because the news media is not telling you about them. They're not covering it. We're going to work on making it more pronounced when we're going to be where and where our town halls are at. We do have a great location in the city of Joliet coming up late September. And it's at the Joliet Park District, the Billy Limacher stadium, or what I'd call auditorium, I should say. A very nice venue, lots of good parking, all free, all that stuff. So we'll take care of that in the future, but I want to let you know that we are doing these. So that was the big thing to me. The big takeaway, again, was how she was very attacking the president. And on that subject, I can't tell you how many times she used the president's name. Someone asked for how many, if I had $1 for every time you said that, why are you doing that? This is a town hall about what your job is in Congress, not about the president that you're serving under at the moment, right? So that was very interesting. The other thing was how many times she kept going back to, I think impeachment is a solemn process, or whatever word she used. But then she kept saying, I was proud to impeach President Trump or vote to impeach Donald Trump as president twice. Oh, by the way, we've since learned that both of those were sham impeachments, that the basis of even bringing them up on articles was all false. It was all wrong. It was all incorrect. So I can tell you this, if Lauren Underwood's elected again, and if enough Democrats join her in Congress in January 2027, you're going to see another sham impeachment. You're going to see Washington taken over by the whole craziness of a sham impeachment, of the fake insurrection argument, everything else. That was one of her focuses in this town hall, okay? Big focus for her. Other thing, there was a big focus. Again, I'm going to interject a little bit about both town halls. Her speech in both were very much the same. There wasn't a lot of difference in there. Healthcare, again, big topic. A lot of people in the room at both town halls, Aurora and DeKalb, wanted to hear her say, I'm for single payer, universal government healthcare takeover, right? There were people in the room citing studies saying how wonderful it is. My last rebuttal, I addressed why it's not so wonderful, so I'm not going to get into that again. But, and I can get to it in a lot more detail even than that. But suffice it to say, Congresswoman Underwood is totally for this, folks. And some of the people in the room were so passionate about it, they didn't see through her facade of saying, no, I can't vote for that bill. She's just looking for an opportunity to post-election, November 3rd, coming up, as she said, in 70-some days. And, oh, by the way, early voting's coming up even quicker than that. We're about 40 days out from early voting, so that's a big deal. The election starts already, right? It's going on right now, pretty much. So she is absolutely 100% all in, government takeover completed of the whole single-payer universal health care. And it will be a nightmare for the people that were in that room that think they want it. Trust me, it will be a night. They will be the ones at the bottom of the totem pole. They're not going to get the care they expect out of it. It happens everywhere. It's implemented all around the world. And that was a big theme of tonight's meeting. She taught, and tied to that, so let's address some of the things. So Lauren Underwood got a bill passed through Congress in December or January. And that bill had a few Republicans breaking ranks and voted for it. I have no idea why. Maybe not our best Republicans, but but here's the deal. Some of them probably voted for it because they knew it was dead on arrival. She was complaining about, I'll give her a little wine with her cheese or cheese with her wine there, complaining about the fact that her bill isn't coming back out of the Senate, right? Well, the reason was it's a bad bill. So her bill, here's what it does, and a couple of the people in the room that wanted single payer called her out on this, right? The bill she passed funded big pharma and big health, okay? Big health insurance. And that's what they were very angry about, is the funding of that. They want a total takeover. They want the government to step in, run healthcare. I mean, remember when Obamacare was passed and they were supposed to implement the marketplace online? Remember they hired a bunch of big tech consulting companies. Trust me, I know who all of those people were. They're not necessarily the best IT people in the world, but they hired all these companies, and within 2 years, they had nothing that they could roll out, right? It was a disaster. They spent a ton of money. That will be government health care if we get it. Trust me, you don't want it. Not in that version. Do we want some regulation? Do we want to make sure that we have a fair, free marketplace? Absolutely. But we don't have that. And here's the other thing Lauren Underwood agrees with me on. Healthcare costs are through the roof. They're skyrocketing, and your co-pays have gone up. Your deductibles have gone up. What you pay your employer, for most people, went from zero to now you got a monthly fee in there. And then everything that's not covered by one of those three things is basically gone up through the roof out of your pocket. And people are really hurt by this. You have people that end up going in bankrupt. They can't afford it. Sometimes they never really come out of it because a loved one in their family didn't have the coverage that Obamacare, aka the Patient Protection Affordable Care Act, said it was going to do. Remember, the free market, has been, let's say, taken away by the government for decades and decades. But 2010 was the monstrous elimination of the free market. And that's the thing that we're all living under right now. It's called the Unaffordable Care Act, or at least that's what I call it, because it's unaffordable. So when my premiums doubled, tripled, went up 400% in the first 10 to 12 years of Obamacare, Lauren Underwood wasn't concerned. Oh, by that time, she was a member of Congress for about 4 or 5 years, right? She wasn't concerned about that, and the rest of us, our deductibles going up, our co-pays going through the roof, everything else. But the deductibles is the biggest thing, because if you had to actually use your insurance and pay that deductible, you might as well not had coverage anyway, because now you're that family that's going bankrupt, and this is what Obamacare, the Unaffordable Care Act, or what I now call undercare, because she's the one that wants to feed the beast and defend that thing. That's what she's all about, right? But trust me, it's a path to the one big deal, which is single payer. Government takeover, you'll have no choice. You can't go anywhere you want for a doctor. They'll try to ban private practice, all that other good stuff. In the ultimate scheme, that's what they want. What really happens in reality in most countries around the world is the people who can afford it skip the government healthcare system, and they have their own healthcare system. So that's where we're headed if Underwood has her way, right? All kinds of other fun stuff in this town hall. Anyone in this room, you got a topic you guys want me to address that you heard in the town hall? And while you're thinking about that, just shout it out. One of my favorite questions tonight, Congresswoman Underwood was asked about the DSA association with members of her party, like AOC, like Rashida Tlaib, and there's so many more who have signed on to the DSA, Democrat Socialists of America, which is just straight up communism, by the way, under another word. The professors all around the socialist universities will say they're all different, but no, it's all the same thing, folks. Socialism, communism, it's just two words for the same end for those things. So Miss Underwood said, well, I am a member of the Democrat Party, and that answers the question. Well, that's very interesting, because the DSA, their stated goal is to take over the Democrat Party. It's been out there for years, and guess what? They're doing it. They have their members elected to Congress. They have their members elected to the biggest cities in the country. They have members of their DSA group signed on to Democrat Party members who have signed also onto the DSA platform, which really wants to abolish the Constitution, get rid of the Senate, throw out the Supreme Court, and basically put a Politburo in charge of everything under the sun. That would be all major commerce, healthcare, you name it. They want to control it all. So if that's what you guys want, vote for Lauren Underwood this November, because that's what she's going to deliver for you, okay? She's been working on it for 8 years. She didn't tell the voting members of the 14th District what her real plan was when she beat Congressman Randy Holtgen in 2018. Now, and she's been mostly under the radar. The media won't tell you she's part of the squad. And I will tell you she's left of the squad, so that's probably why they don't want to put her in the squad. But here you go. Lauren Underwood is going after our freedoms, our life, our liberty, our Constitution. No question about it. That's what these town halls are telling everyone that wants to hear about it. So come on out to her next town hall, which I believe is Saturday in the city of Joliet. Okay, you got to sign up with her to find out where it's at. She doesn't tell you. I tell you where all my town halls are at ahead of time, right? You got to sign up at her Representative Lauren Underwood page, or go to her website. I'm sure they'll get it to you there. You can, once it's disclosed, the day or day and a half before the event, you can actually show up, but then you're going to have to show an ID and get checked. By the way, whether you checked in ahead of time or whether you just show up and get checked in when you show up, you must go through security screening. Okay, so just so everyone knows, don't bring your pocket knives. I'm a Boy Scout leader. I usually have a pocket knife. I don't bring it to this event because I don't want it thrown out on me, right? So anyway, wrapping it up, Underwood is putting America last, just like she did with Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden when she got most of her bills passed, big spending bills. She added $18 trillion to the deficit. That's almost double what the deficit was when she entered Congress in 2018. Underwood's America last. She wants to incite a riot and incite unsafety. Coming up at the anniversary of Charlie Kirk's assassination, I think it's totally irresponsible and un-American to be out there ginning up hatred against opponents. Let's talk about policy and issue. God bless you. Signing off for tonight, and we'll see you at the next one.